Good evening and welcome to Dog Talk. I'm Dan Camilleri.
And I'm Laura McKillop. Sorry. You were meant to do the intro.
Yeah, it's all good. We were just talking about how we're going to do this and then we just bummed it anyways. But welcome to our special edition of Women in Ag. This is Laura McKillop. And tonight we're lucky enough to be speaking to a whole group of lovely ladies here. Do you want to introduce them, Laura?
Well, left to right, we've got Emelia Stokehill, not Walton anymore. Billie Bourke and Brooke Barton, who's soon. You're changing your name soon too. You both are, aren't you?
Very shortly, yeah.
Yeah. How exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks for jumping on tonight, guys, and all making the effort too. All three of you
one spot.
One camera view. We didn't know that was coming ourselves, so I'm sure we had a couple of good laughs and giggles over dinner, getting ready for tonight.
Yeah.
Em, thanks for jumping on again. Love what you do. Two-time New South Wales Yard Dog Champion here. Up against some, or not up against some, mentoring some up-and-comers here. So, girls, do you want to introduce yourselves?
You go first.
I go first. I'm Emelia Stokehill, based out in Harden. I work for a company called Oxton Park and just pretty much based on all the livestock. And yeah, keeps me pretty busy.
Yep. So yeah, I'm Billie Bourke and currently just moved to Grenfell, but I was out at Numby Station and yeah, station hand and yeah, pretty new to the dog world. So
Brooke Barton, I'm in between Grenfell and Forbes. We've got a little block of our own there, which is done, pretty much just a hobby these days, and we contract for a living. So we contract preg scan and do stock work as well.
Beautiful. Thanks for that, ladies. And you guys on the right, the two Bs, look up to Emelia there and helped you out a little bit with the introduction to dogs and into the trialling world. I know she's sitting next to her and she's going to go red.
Careful what I say. Yeah, well, definitely introduction to the trialling world. I hadn't really met Emelia beforehand, but so far we've found we really enjoy training with each other. We have similar ideas how to go about stuff, but still different enough to chuck stuff at each other. So I think that really works.
Yeah.
And Brooke?
Nail in the head. I didn't know Emelia prior to trialling either, but met her through trialling, and it's been really good to see women doing it, because my first trial, I think there was me and one other girl there, and it wasn't Emelia, and I was like, oh wow, this is a bit nerve-wracking having all these blokes here going out for my first trial, and it was really good to come across Emelia and then Billie at the trialling scene. Yeah.
And obviously you mentioned like women in ag just there, and we will get into a bit more with Enduro's promotion coming up. We know a little bit about Em having a similar background to, I suppose, to us growing up in our area. Where did you two ladies grow up?
Yeah, so I grew up in a small town called Tumbarumba. We didn't have much land, but Dad managed a small property. We did a lot of mustering by horseback, and Dad had a few dogs, but I never had my own at that stage. But yeah, so grew up on the land.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm a Canberra girl, born and raised, unfortunately. Would have loved to have lived on the land, but didn't quite have that luxury. So I went to school in Canberra. Wasn't into dogs until about 3.5 years ago. And that was when Sam and I moved back here from Queensland, and he had a team of dogs, and I'm like, this is really cool. I could get around this. But yeah, I just worked with horses, and then we went up to Queensland and did a stint up there, and then we come back here and started the contracting.
And we're sort of jumping, but whilst it's only you, Brooke, how did you and Sam meet then? Like, was he already on the land or in Canberra as well?
He was Canberra born and bred too, but he had a farm in between Yass and Gundaroo. And I actually moved to Gundaroo right next door to the pub and ended up working at the pub.
Yep.
We met there. So we were friends way before we got together. But he helped me get a job up north as well. And it was up north that we fell for the land and fell for each other, I suppose.
Yeah.
And were you working with dogs up north?
The weaner educator had dogs, but it was all the stuff that I worked in. It was all downs country, so there wasn't a really huge need for it. So the only time I ever saw dogs in action was when the weaner educator was in there doing all the feedlot steers.
No, beautiful. And Billie, what about you? Like, how'd you end up at Numby? Like, what was sort of the process of being at like Tumba and then going? Yeah, how'd you get there?
Yeah, so originally my parents split, so then I moved with my mum down to the south coast near Bega there, and I found I didn't want to work in dairy, and that's all there was.
Mhm.
So I actually went to a feedlot out at Deniliquin before I went to Numby, and I was a pen rider there for a year. I just did a lot of animal health there, and obviously pen riding, drafting, and all that. And then I went back to the coast and found, like, I did a few odd jobs for different farmers down there. They're more, small acreage, so they really couldn't justify having someone full time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I decided to venture out, and it was only on Drover's Ag I saw, and I just took it. I went for it.
Beautiful. So, how do we do this? Well, so Billie, you're in the middle there. How your introduction to dogs coming into the working scene? How has that developed?
Well, I wanted to have a crack while I was at the feedlot, but there wasn't much opportunity because I was on horseback all the time. But I did have a dog while I was there, and I've still got him today. You know him, the red one.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so when I went out to Numby, obviously you need dogs there. And it was big shock to going from knowing nothing to instantly having to know everything. So, it was chucked in the deep end. And certainly at Numby, I've grown like very quickly with the handling compared to if I went somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so as somebody that, as you said, had no experience with dogs, where did you source dogs? Like, what was your process? Like, because I'm sure there's not just you that's ended up in a job and gone, shit, I need a heap of dogs and quality dogs, I could imagine, to do your job. Like, how'd you go about that?
Yeah, so actually I got a whole heap of station bred and random bits. Like the fella I had, he was from Holbrook, and he was just station bred. And I got him going, and then I got given another dog, and actually it was a reject. He didn't want to know more, and she ended up being my best dog. And that's just a case of he didn't suit. She was way too soft for that handler, but then she adapted to me very well and was a completely different dog. So I picked up her, and then the third dog that I brought into the team was actually the first one I went out and I properly picked. So
And as that, from those dogs there to as you're starting to progress up, has what you look for, say, in the next dog started to shift a bit?
Yeah, it's shifting. I still I pick qualities out of each of them, and now I'm looking to, like everyone else, I guess, try and find the dog that can have them qualities. But hasn't necessarily changed awfully much. It's just finding the dog, because my team all has their own individual qualities. It's finding the dog that's got all them qualities in one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how about yourself, Brooke?
I only have had pet dogs, and then we moved to the farm at home. I was working on a cropping place, and Sam asked me to go move a mob of sheep at home, and I'd never done anything with sheep in my life. And I took his dog Trump. We got to this gateway, and nothing was happening, and I was getting the chits, and the dog's moving around. Anyway, the dog just stopped working, and I'm like, what the hell is this dog doing? Like, is it meant to be broken? Anyway, I stopped moving and the dog went to the right spot and the sheep went through the gateway. And I'm like, this dog knows more than I do. So from there, I just, kept stealing Sam's dogs. And then he got a dog called Goofy, which is in my team today. Most people know him. He's a little Ranger rat bag that I still have not tamed. And we decided to go contracting. And I thought, right, I'm going to have to pick this up quick smart because we're charging for a service and to be able to fulfill it. So I went to a dog school and figured out how to get started off, and that was with Gary White. So I learned how to balance there. I didn't even know what that was. I was in the round down with Goofy and I was actually telling him the wrong side and we're doing circles and he's just looking up at me like, who is this person? What are you doing? What are you doing? And then from there it grew and I got my first dog and that's Boots. So he's the first pup that I got myself and trained myself. And then, as we do more contracting, just figuring out dogs that I like, that I don't like, dogs that might complement my current team, because I've got a few Goofy and Boots and that they won't go anywhere, they'll retire with me. And they're not the best dogs in the world, but I want to find dogs that might complement them or be better than them, which is plenty out there. And especially going out to Numby, I realised that a dog like Goofy was not going to hack it in the hills. He only looks 20 metres in front of him, so it was nice too. And the first time I went out there and got in the hills, I was terrified, and I think the dogs were feeling the same thing because we'd never seen hills that big or gullies that steep. And saw Dave's dogs and saw Billie's dogs, and Tom Lewis was out there at the same time, and Kiwi Tom, and I'm like, holy dooly, there's a lot to learn with these dogs, and it's really cool to see what people can make them do.
In there, amongst all of that, you said we decided to go contracting.
Yeah. Who does that? I know. Yeah.
Contracting. How did that come up? And was that daunting for yourself, being a young woman coming into just going, okay, we're Canberra, we're up north now, I'm just going to go do this?
Yeah, no, 100%, because I'd never, we obviously own our own business, and I'd never ever worked for myself before. I always had, a job that I went to and they paid my salary, and it was general hours, and I had holiday pay, and I'm like, oh God, working for myself, you're going to have to make sure that you've got work coming in and everything, goes to plan. And so I was terrified. Sam had been contracting beforehand, so he was sort of my voice of reason. But no, I was terrified. Yeah.
Now, that said, if you look, both of you guys look at over your right shoulder there, the lady on your right, although you hadn't met her before trialing, she kind of paved the way a bit for young women coming through. Although you hadn't met her, seeing Emelia doing things, achieving things, and then even I suppose getting on and having yarn with us before on Dog Talk, did that kind of help boost your confidence?
Yeah, definitely seeing any type of female like Emelia definitely gives you a confident booster, saying you can do this.
And not just be out there, I suppose, but do well and be up there. It was really good to see Emelia always, hitting some finals and winning.
And being a personal friend of ours, I don't come much tougher than she's not going to put up with any bullshit. So
got a good laugh. Yeah.
That said, again, how have you found the industry have responded to you guys, and you feel like they've supported you well coming in and through?
Well, I can take it first. I suppose, working up in Queensland, 100%, they responded to women really well up there. Coming back to where I worked on the cropping place, the same sort of thing, I suppose. But hitting the contracting, there was actually a few people that we were going to go scan for that wouldn't let a woman scan for them.
Mm-hmm.
They just didn't believe that it was a job for a woman. So I just took it, no worries, that's all right. So I've definitely noticed it change, because then people now don't care, and their shed staff are all women as well. So they've come around, but I've definitely seen it adapt. And when I first started contracting, I didn't see many women out there, like helping in the yards and stuff. And the more I go to, the more that there's women managers around or station hands that are coming down to help as well. So it's really good to see. Definitely when I first started 3 years ago contracting, I didn't see that many women. And now I'm seeing more. So something's obviously changed.
Yeah.
It probably is.
And to everyone listening there, I don't want people thinking, oh, well, feminists are on this. It's the right person for the right job, right? Regardless of sex. Like who gives a shit, right? And that's what I suppose what we're promoting here today with this special edition as well. Right? And even like when you mentioned there was some hesitation at times from your clients, like awesome job just going, all right, I'm not going to take this personal, but just going to take it on chin and move on. Like, that's heaps cool.
Yeah. There's not much else you can do, really.
You can eat the next day.
And Billie, how about yourself? How have you found I suppose the help you're getting out there and being able to get mentors to help you coming through?
Yeah, I guess personally myself, I've never had the mindset where I've felt like I couldn't do it or I couldn't achieve something. Like I've never felt that barrier that maybe a lot of women have felt where they're just not capable because they are a woman. So I think it's hard to say for me, like, yes, like Brooke was saying, I have noticed like there is a lot more women surrounding me and in this industry these days, but I never experienced a barrier.
How about you, Em?
Never scared me either. No, I was always out
That
there.
surprised me.
Yeah, no, I always just had the go attitude and sort of bring it on, boys. Really. I just kept on going, I suppose, and anything that sort of got thrown at me, I just tackled it full on and just went for it. And I even at like the last couple of years, I noticed a big change too. Like obviously I've been in dog trialing a fair bit, and even when I first started, I think I remember seeing Jenny Sands around, and Jenny Roston, but that's about it really, to be honest. But now you go to dog trials and there'd be at least a good dozen of us, maybe. It's awesome. So it's just really good to see these days women getting out there and having a go, I suppose.
Absolutely.
And that I actually think a lot of that is also coming from the schools that Emelia's been doing, like the trialing schools for women, because I think they just didn't feel confident enough to get out there, and then having them schools has sort of made them a little bit more confident to give it a crack.
Yeah.
But not even just confidence to get out there and have a crack, like you're killing it, and not just, we'll just go yard trialing or we'll just do this, like everything. I think I've run into yous at yard, utility, and the Stock Dog Challenge this year, like just having a crack at everything, which is awesome. It's great.
Not doing so well at all of them, but we're giving it a go.
And running your own trials as well there, Brooke, yeah?
Yeah, no, I've loved running rental. It's been really, really fun to do, and I've taken it on as my own little baby, and it's good fun. I love getting all the prizes together and announcing them, and it's good.
Actually, I was just thinking about working with Em. Em would be sending the blokes out. Go make me some sandwiches. And we'll go make me some smoke.
Gotta keep these boys in line.
No, that's right. So actually, before we get into the other stuff, you mentioned like Brooke mentioned the working dog schools that Em's been doing for women. Em, do you want to tell us a little bit about that and what's driven that and how the feedback you've been getting?
Yeah, so the first dog school, I think it was back in March from memory. I think it was a girls. I can't remember. I think it's about March. I got asked by Nathan Cave, who's obviously the president of New South Wales Yard Dog Association, if I could do a ladies training school, which was obviously completely free to all members. So which we held, and I think first run was probably about a dozen handlers, don't quote me, but give or take. And they ranged from literally flat out people that had never been to a trial and wanted to have a crack, to people that obviously have been around the tracks a few times and just sort of wanted to sharpen a few tools. and it was really good. I got a lot of good feedback from them. A lot of females just really liked how it was just all females. I didn't feel like there was any pressure of the males there. It was just a really good day. And the second one was held in June, and again had complete beginners through to people that obviously been around the tracks a few times. And I think everyone enjoyed it, and I haven't heard any negative feedback. So that's always a good sign, I think.
No, absolutely.
When's the next one?
Whenever you like me to do one, Laura.
Did you see some young women come through that were novice, like hadn't heard or seen before? And
I don't know if they've ever known me or whatnot, but I definitely didn't know them. There was a couple of women. Well, there was one woman that came down from Queensland, someone from down south. So there was a lot of new faces that I hadn't even seen or met before. It was good to meet those young ladies and obviously old women as well. They obviously came as well. Everyone just had a really good crack, really good attitude, and I suppose that makes the day more positive as well.
And have you seen them on the circuit since?
A couple I have, yes. A couple I have. And they're actually doing quite well. Probably a young one that's coming up actually is that little Lily Tickle. You probably know her. She's got a really handy little dog, and she's going to go a long way. And she definitely brought the go-to attitude on the day, and I think she took away a lot. And she's definitely one to look out for in the future.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
And ladies, how did you find having that opportunity? How did you find that opportunity, and how did it help you progress?
Is this doing the Emelia school?
Yeah, like having an opportunity.
Oh,
there you go.
Even I picked up on that, Daniel.
I'm getting old, Laura. I'm just trying to keep in line with who's telling which bit about their own story, so I can go, yeah, cool. Brooke. Okay. Well, that said, we're gonna have to organise one so you can give some feedback.
Yeah, definitely. In a different sense, you guys do train together quite often, I believe, and hang out and all the rest. But how has Em's knowledge shaped the way you guys train a dog, or has it?
Say no, please.
I found it's just little things, and I guess it's with everyone. You try and take away whatever you can from anyone who tells you anything. I don't believe anyone should limit their training to one specific way, because there's so many different types of dogs out there, so many dogs that adapt to different ways and everything like that. So whether it's Em and her training techniques, there might be something in our training days that I pick up that day, but then I come back the next time and she's done something slightly different that I can take out. It's just from anyone. I think everyone's just got to not limit their training. They've got to take in from everyone, and it might not necessarily work for them or their dog, but it is another tool to maybe use on a different dog or a different situation. So,
But I don't think it matters how long you've been in the game either. Obviously, I've been in the game a long time, and even hanging out with these two ladies, you always see something that they might do that you'd never seen before. And you go, oh, geez, that will work, and you might try it on a certain dog. And I know myself, there's never a day you stop learning. You're always learning, and you always take away something. Something. Yeah. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be something little, it could be something massive.
You can even hate it.
I don't like that thing. Yeah. Never try that. But you always take away something from it. So whether you've been in it a long time like myself or new into it like these girls are, you're always learning. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So, but we feed off each other, we give each other feedback all the time, and we always just take a positive attitude towards it.
And that was going to be my question. What are you getting? Not getting out of it isn't the right word, but
personally,
for you yourself, Em, watching the girls come through. Does it give you that extra sort of push on of shit, I got to keep up. And
No.
like,
No, I love it. I actually prefer to actually see these girls overtake me, to be honest. I actually really like the training side. I wouldn't care if I ever placed ever again, to be honest. I actually really enjoy teaching young people come up and seeing them go further. That to me is more of an achievement these days than winning a trial or getting into a final. I'd much rather see these young girls get in a final than me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that to me, if I can help someone go to that next level, I've achieved what I want.
It's as good as winning yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Anyone that knows you know there's no fluff. You just say it how it is.
Sorry.
That's fine. Do you feel that sometimes, like even like with the lady schools, that hearing that from a lady sometimes is a little bit easier for them to hear? Not always, but because it's not being sexist, like, oh, it's coming from a bloke that just, just arrogant, or you think that softens the blow sometimes to get that bit of accountability?
I think it is an individual thing. I think, like, for myself personally, like I said, I take on board anything everyone says.
Yep.
But yeah, I guess there could be some women that just, and it might come back down to them being more sensitive or in their training methods, or they just don't like the harshness of a man. But I think, like I said, it just comes back down to an individual and how an individual takes stuff in.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, because like
Absolutely.
I know I personally, well, the truth's the truth. So
Yeah.
you either like it or you don't, and you're going to accept it whether it's from a male or a female.
100%.
It's just,
And that's
when
what
you want to hear it, you hear it. If you don't want to hear it, you don't hear it, no matter who it's coming from.
Oh, in this day and age, like, there's precious people everywhere, regardless of the gender. It's true, right? Like, you get stared at a bloke the wrong way, and next minute they're melting down, right? It's just the way, unfortunately, society in particular areas is gravitating. So that's why I thought I'd ask that question as well, right? I just had another ray gun internal stroke again. How about coming into trialing? Was it just, let's just you've seen it and let's just have a crack, or was it something that you'd seen when you were younger, or was it something that you got dragged into with the people around you? How did that come up for you guys?
Yeah, for me personally, it was actually one of our very good mates, Jake Chandler, who got us into dog trialing. So we didn't know it was around, we'd never seen one, and he just said, I'm going to a dog trial, why don't you just come? And we're like, oh, okay, we'll give it a crack. And we were both terrified. Like, we didn't even want to wear our work jumpers because we didn't want anyone looking at us in our work logo in case it didn't go to plan. And let me tell you, it did not go to plan. It is not like just being in a set of sheep yards and flicking a gate and going for gold. It's but no, it was good fun. Like, I did our first trial was West Wyalong, and it was a really well-run trial. Like, they had both rings there. The encourage was run separately, which we probably enjoyed at that stage of our trialing because we weren't in a big field, and it was a bit less of a nerve-wracking trial to go into, I guess. But that's how we got into it, was through a mate, and then we sort of got hooked from there. It was really cool. We went to Forbes after that, and we kept meeting people, and just built up a network and just kept going for it.
Yeah, so I can't remember who suggested it, but at Numby we had quite a young crew at the time, me and a couple from down South Australia, and we're all training dogs pretty hard and bouncing off each other. And I can't remember who exactly decided that we wanted to do it, but then we all put our name in and we're like, righto, let's do it. And we went out and that's what we did.
Was that Yogle?
No, my first one was Parks.
Oh,
yeah.
Did you feel, you both mentioned yard trials as your first trial, did you feel a bit more secure having, like, been in the yards and having the yards around you where not as much could go wrong?
I certainly did, because I had Goofy. who's not a paddock dog. So I loved the yards, yeah.
I just felt there was more
I
available.
actually honestly didn't know there was anything other than yard trials.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was utilities, and I knew there was cattle trials, but I didn't know there was utilities and stock dog trials.
The lady sitting on your right, once again, is taking out a utility trial or two.
How many years ago now?
Yeah, you can get some advice there. More than handy enough for the dog outside and the inside. Any aspirations you'd like to achieve on that trialing front while we're there?
I mean, I just want to get more consistent. I'd rather have, not worried about winning. I'd like to have a nice team of dogs that's sort of been consistent through the trialing and other trials too. Like, it'd be cool if I could go out to utilities and stuff like that and be consistent out there as well. So that's probably actually where I've changed the style of dog that I'm looking for, because I want to be able to have that consistency and be able to broaden my horizons, I suppose, and not just stick in a yard and go and chase some other things as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, I already reached my one goal for this season. It was to get out of the maiden, and I did it. So that's it, done.
Have you set a new one?
Not yet, no.
How about on a more professional level, like work-wise? Have you guys got goals set on where you would like to, or anything you'd like to accomplish, and like a way to get there?
Oh, that's a loaded question. To answer it briefly,
question from Dog Talk.
Yeah. To answer it briefly, yes, with the work that we're chasing now, that we're doing more work out at like Numby, and we've got another block that we do at Tibbinbilla, there's a lot more paddock work. So I'm really trying to set myself some new goals and some new standards of really trying to chase that all-rounder and that more versatile dog. So my goal is to start training for a bit more versatility and selecting those dogs for a bit more versatility.
Yep.
Yeah, so I've really started to go down the path on like the low stress handling and how to incorporate the dogs the best you can in them situations. So like I just want to be able to achieve still using the dogs to their full potential and having the best low stress stock handling amongst that. So my goal is to get my dogs to respect the stock as much as I can and allow them to read and feel their stock.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And having a young family yourself, have your goals changed at all?
Not at the moment, no. I'm pretty happy with my team that I sort of got. Obviously I still like the really paddocky type dogs. I like that feel in them. I don't like too much, obviously, a punchy dog in the yards and nothing outside. So at the moment, the team I've got currently, I'm pretty happy with. I probably wouldn't go change anything at the moment personally, but just sort of happy cruising along at the minute. They're doing the job, and that's the main thing at the minute.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know, it sort of popped in my head now. Like, you girls all work full time with your dogs, all the rest, and you are also all competitive in the yard. What about the good old debate, yard dog, a work dog doesn't make a trial dog, and vice versa? Like, it's always a big topic wherever you go, and I'd like to hear your opinions on that.
I wouldn't personally just have a trial dog. All my dogs need to be able to work and do a day's work. And it's probably more on me than it is the dog for then just being able to train them well enough to then go into a trial setting as well.
Yeah.
All my dogs have to do a day's work before I even consider trialing them.
Yeah, I just reckon it comes back down to training. Like, when you're on the job, you're probably not focused and you let the dog slip on a lot of things. And with trialing, I think it's just realizing that you have to put that extra training in. I don't necessarily think that it has to, like, a dog has to be a trial dog or a dog has to be a work dog. It's just that dog can do it all, It's just the time you put into that dog
to get it to the trial arena.
Yeah.
It definitely makes a big difference when you get to the trial arena. If you do that fine tuning, that's where you do notice it in the really tough trials. I do think like where you need that precision spot, that you need that dog. I suppose that's where it comes out. But then you've got a good work dog behind you, you can get away with a lot as well. So I still think you can make a good work dog. Yeah, like you can put those precision things on them. It just takes time. 100%. You've got to be willing to do it.
So would you say you start a dog differently now that you trial? Maybe not start them differently, but like you're starting that precision from day dot.
Yeah. What influences trialing had on the way you do your job daily?
For me personally, working out at Numby, I needed that position. Like I needed to be able to place a dog where I needed it. So for me, that hasn't really changed for trialing because it's still positioning the dog where you need it. So I'm still kind of training for the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I suppose for me, I start my dogs differently now, not that I've got a huge team, but the more schools I do, the more I pick up. So the more I'm trying to put on them at a younger age or imprinting them at a younger age. They always still come to work fairly early. I always chuck them in the deep end just to see what they're going to do and to see where I'm sort of sitting. But I suppose definitely the trialings made me want to get a bit more precision, more steering, a better stop. Definitely made me want to train a bit more and get a bit more precision in my movements.
Mm-hmm.
What about since you've been trialing? How has your stockmanship and dogmanship changed? Like, so I've had the luxury of judging a couple of these ladies here, and Billie, for example, was having a decent run in the utility trial, but she realised that the dog was struggling a bit, and she got the sheep delivered, and she went, "That will do me." And I just looked at her and I go, "Are you serious?" She goes, "Yep." I said, "You sure that's what you do?" She goes, "Yep." And she walked away. And I actually gave you the stockmanship award at that trial because the way you handled your dogs and you never tried to push them. Like when you realize that, you know what, this might just be a little bit above that capability right now, or you looked at the sheep and went, you know what, I don't think they need to run around anymore right now. And you just went, that'll do me. A lot of people wouldn't do that, right? They go, I'm here for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
As far as we can.
Yeah.
Has trialing had any influence on you to be able to make decisions like that?
It just comes back to knowing my dog. I've got rather sensitive dogs, so they actually wig out with the atmosphere a bit and stuff like that. So I just got to know, like, and see the signs when they're very uncomfortable, and I either at the time I try and do something to get their mind off it, or if that doesn't work, I'll just pull the pin and take them away. Because I know, and it has worked, because I know next time they come out there, they're going to be more confident. And I can confidently say now that that bitch that I did pull, she's very confident out there now.
Yeah.
Like she knows the course, she knows what she's doing. And the other bitch that I have, she was pretty much the same, but she's stepping up now. And I think it's because I just haven't pushed them, and they remember.
Mm-hmm.
They remember the bad atmosphere, so you got to keep it good.
No, absolutely. When I thought about that as that happened, I was just like that. It was just so cool. Like you just went, nah, and once again, I don't mean to be sexist. A young bloke might have went, no, we're doing this. We're going to keep going. And not all, but that's a quality I admired about seeing you run dogs is when you go, that's enough for that dog, or that stock doesn't need that pressure right now. So that's awesome. Cool. I just think so. Obviously, we have a special edition today, Women in Ag. So I just want to, I suppose, touch on a couple of things here from our friends in Enduro. So basically, back in July, Enduro launched a limited edition trucker hat, recognising women in ag, and the concept behind it was loud and proud. Now, why did Paul decide to do that? So Paul, obviously, sales rep at Enduro, traveling the whole country. I don't know anyone else that gets around like Paul does. I'd hate to be the tires on his car because they get clogged. He gets around, and he was noticing that all the stock produce stores he was going to, a heap of women, whether it was throwing dog food, chook feed, horse feed in the back of vehicles, fencing supplies. You're seeing a growing number of participants at trials, particularly along Victoria and New South Wales. And they just wanted to highlight that and encourage it. So as a result, off the back of that, they've put up this new promotion that they've got running in the
Working Stock Dog magazine.
Working Stock Dog magazine. Here we go. A little bit about that.
My head's in other places at the moment, but yes. So pretty much they're giving away $2,000 for someone, it's one person, for courses recognized within ag industry or for like a working dog school. So my understanding is you can use the $2,000 within, so say you wanted to go to 1 school, 2 schools, 3 schools or whatever, or do a couple of different courses, you can use the money towards that. Plus there's 32 bags of Enduro Plus to keep the dogs fed for the year. So pretty much to enter, all you have to do is email sales@enduropet.com.au, and there's a bit of a blurb there and everything, which I will post that on our Dog Talk Facebook page for anyone interested.
And be a woman.
Obviously. Yeah, that too.
That's a key factor to this. So with a bit of support like that, so there's $4,000 in total in money and product here. Seeing Enduro get on the back of something like that, how do you think as young women coming through that could help someone develop a skill set?
Well, I think the money and getting to dog schools would definitely help, or different courses and things like that. Like a lot of ag courses, some of the really good ones are a bit pricey. And so sometimes that's a barrier for people wanting to study it or get into it or learn more, because they just simply can't afford it, especially if they need to work as well. Sometimes work and study don't quite go hand in hand. Yeah. Not so much with time, but with fees.
So away just from dogs, if we didn't go for the dog schools, like what other, you mentioned like in ag, like what other courses could this fund that could help?
Have you done any sort of courses?
Oh, I haven't done many. I've done a lot of EID courses, which it's not an actual like course, but I would definitely recommend like ProGraze or the
lifetime.
I've
done lifetime engagement.
Yeah, they're unreal courses, and I need to go and do them myself because I've heard really good things about them. But they're really good courses, but they're quite pricey. So that could help.
What about yourself, Billie? Where would you, if you got an opportunity like this, where would you invest it?
Yeah, probably all the same. I've got these guys around me to help with the dogs, so it's all the other side that needs attention. So, yeah.
Are there any particular areas in the ag sector that could really help young women come through to boost them and even make them like stand out as good applicants for particular roles?
Well, that's individually what they enjoy.
Yeah.
Which direction they want to go.
Yeah. And there's a lot of directions you can pick.
Well, for some young ladies that might be out there listening, what are some of those directions? Like you could go contracting, mastering. What else? What other?
Jesus. Oh, yeah. What does everyone else do?
I think, I suppose
like dog related, right?
Yeah. Well, not so much dog related, but I suppose it depends if you want to go down the route of working on a place or not, and if that place is livestock or if it's cropping or if it's a mixed enterprise or what it is that you actually enjoy. Like a lot of people will just like cropping and like soil, and they don't necessarily like stock. So, and some people hate sheep and they love cows, so they might just go to a straight cattle enterprise. So it just totally depends on what they're into and what they want to chase. I suppose, and there's definitely courses that can help them do all that. Like, they don't necessarily have to go to uni. There's diplomas in ag. There's those courses we mentioned before, which help with all the livestock production stuff. And there's always, I don't know about these girls, but all the time on my Facebook pages, there'll be like sheep metrics, or someone will pop up like little info days that they do, which don't cost a fortune, but like seminars that you can go log on and see. LLS do them as well. So that's like a good stepping stone to figure out if you want to sort of go down that route further.
How obviously you can see like there's a bit of camaraderie between you three there. What's a training session look like for you three?
Pretty relaxed, really. It's pretty good. We're all just taking the absolute piss out of each other.
Especially winter time, you hit the bonfire, have days.
Yeah. Few beers.
Yep.
We've tried swapping dogs one night. We did a mock trial and we all switched up each other's dogs, and that was really interesting to see, and it actually showed how much a bond really matters.
Very frustrating.
Who scored Roy?
Oh no, Roy wasn't
actually
there.
You didn't bring a dog.
I didn't bring a dog that day. No, I was lazy actually. I just come for more,
More drinks.
social for once actually. So I think I actually tried working your dog.
You worked Goofy, yeah.
Yeah,
you tried it.
Yeah, Dusty didn't want to listen to me. He was out of the yard. He was gone.
So when you guys are training dogs, what are the lads doing? Are they training dogs or are they barred?
Nah, they're training dogs too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ryan and Hamish are generally just sitting on the sidelines chatting, but the other two get in there.
Brooke, when I spoke to yourself and Billie about jumping on DT, you were like, well, if she does it, I'll do it. And then if you do it, they'll do it. But a key factor to you was you really wanted to promote women in ag. Why is it so personal for yourself?
I suppose because growing up in Canberra and the school that I went to, there was no avenues for agriculture. I didn't even know it was a possibility for me. And I never liked being inside. I never liked, looking at a computer screen and stuff like that. So as soon as I got out of school, I just went and did the first outside job I could, and that was with horses. And then it just went from there, and I started talking to people and figuring out there was other things you could do. But yeah, I suppose, and you can't blame Canberra, you can't blame the school that I went to that there was no mention of ag or anything like that. But there's all these ASBAs that they try and promote in school, but there was no ASBAs for agriculture. And I know that's probably something that I need to work on. Like, there's not really an apprenticeship you can do for ag, but whether they, start allowing you to go and do like work experience on a farm, and that, counts towards going towards like a diploma in ag or something like that. That's just something that the school system needs to work out. But there was no mention, there was no option of me doing anything agricultural based in the school that I was going to and the surrounding schools. So unless you're sort of in a rural school, there's no avenue for ag.
Yeah. Did you encounter the same kind of problems growing up here in Hawkesbury?
I did, yeah, because there's not, obviously where we were based and whatnot, there's not a big avenue and no one really pushed it. You either were a tradesman or if you're obviously, most females, you'd go to nursing or teaching or something like that. Like, agriculture wasn't on anyone's radar. So for me, it was like I had to source out to colleges or TAFEs. That's sort of where I sort of went. But yeah, like it wasn't really, I don't know what's the right word, I suppose.
Easily accessible.
Oh, sorry, Laura. I was going to say, I suppose it's not a career path. They don't, it's not sunshine and roses in ag. So they don't, and it's generally, and I don't want to put people off, but you've got to work hard for the money that you earn.
Yeah.
So it's not a job that they generally promote as that being such as like something successful that you can do. Like you sort of got to love it and have a passion for ag to want to chase it, because it's not a high, like it can be a high earning job, but it's not like, you go be a doctor and you just do that and you earn.
Well, you come straight off the ranks. I think that's the difference. With farming, you start the bottom.
Yeah, and you're
not like, you might go to uni and do all your uni degrees, but you'll still come back and start the very bottom and work your way up. So like, agriculture is not really something that probably,
it's not an idolized job.
No, it's not. You've got to have the love for it, and without the love for it, I don't think you definitely need a love for it, because at the end of the day, you're starting at the bottom. And if you haven't got love, you're probably quicker out than what you are in. So, that's probably the main difference. And it's like a teacher. You go to uni, you study to be a teacher, and next minute you're a teacher known as a teacher. Whether if you're going out, you've done uni and stuff in ag, next minute you're just a station hand.
Yeah.
So you're at the bottom of the food chain. So that's probably the biggest downfall in agriculture, I would say.
Yeah.
You've got to work your way up, and you've got to work bloody hard for it.
And I actually don't necessarily think that's a bad thing.
No,
I
I think it's
not.
a very good thing.
I think you should have to
To
sort of work from the bottom and get your way up there, because you're going to learn a hell of a lot more doing it that way.
Bloody yes,
And you're going to decide if you really want to do it or not.
I've seen some of Natalie's old tax receipts or that. You definitely have to have a passion and enjoy the lifestyle. I totally appreciate what you guys are saying there. How do you think that? Do you think that turns a lot of people off the industry?
I think if you love it, no. Yeah. But if you're on the fence, money and having to work hard, yes. There's beautiful things about ag, like you can get into dogs, and that can be your avenue in it. But you've still got to work hard. You've still got to put the time into training them dogs to get that job done. So I actually have come across a few people that thought they could just get dogs and step into a job and everything was going to be easy peasy, and it wasn't. And so they gave it away because they had to put time in with their dogs and in with their job. So it just wasn't an easy job that they thought they were going to be able to step into.
With it so hard to get to source labour, are there any little things you think that could be changed or moved around a bit to make it a little bit more appealing and attractive?
This is another question, Dan. So for me personally, there's a lot of people that are happy to pay over $100 an hour for a chippy, for a plumber, for a sparky, but they don't want to pay us as a contractor any more than $45.50 because we don't have a qualification. Yet our dogs are our tools to get that job done. So why aren't we, I'm not saying that I'm worth $100 an hour, but they're not complaining about paying them sparkies and them plumbers that kind of money, but they balk at paying someone probably a ward wage. Well, it's not even a ward wage. Like if you're working for yourself, that barely covers your super and your workers' comp and your wage. They balk at that because they don't see the dogs as a tool, which you've still got to feed, you've still got to train. So it's all expense that goes into it as well.
Absolutely. I totally agree. You think the day will ever come where you be able to charge, if dogs are doing the work of 2 or 3 people, why aren't we charging the dog out at an hourly rate?
Yeah.
Because not every drill can be used the same way, but every dog is so different, and I think it comes back to the handler. That's why it never happens, because you might have a great dog that you can totally charge for your dog, but I don't put the effort into mine, so that's not fair for someone to pay. Fair is not the right word, but
we look at realistically,
you can't put a price on that.
If a dog's replacing 2 or 3 wages, 2 or 3 lots of super, 2 or 3 vehicles, right? And if you're working for yourself, right? Okay, it's probably going to work. But as a contractor, and people hiring contractors because they can't do the workload themselves, or they need the hand. Well, why do you think the day will ever come where we go, well, this is our rate for a labour rate, but you know what? You want our dogs? Well, we're going to throw. There's an additional labour or additional rate for that.
I guess that will happen, but it's going to be a long time before it does.
It would be pretty.
See,
cool
I look at it from a different point of view. Obviously, I'm not doing what you girls are doing, but I look at it and I go, okay, that's all well and good, but if you've got quality dogs, that makes your job easier, which means it takes you less time. But then it's got the opposite effect when you're paying an hourly rate. But for you, Brooke, scanning, I'm assuming you are paid per animal, per you. Yep. So if you can get through 1,000 quicker, that is your money, because time is money.
100%, yeah.
And that's where I think there's such a fine line that you're never going to...
But it comes back to the job as well, right? You're doing a job like that, but if you're doing just mustering, for example, and
totally different.
Replacing someone
Totally different situation.
What do you guys think, being people actually work and,
Yeah.
and do the job.
Not me sitting behind a computer.
It's a really loaded question and it's a loaded answer. Like I said, I don't think I'm worth $100 now, but I'm just putting it in the context of farmers and people in ag and people that are running businesses are quite happy to throw that kind of, not throw it, but pay that kind of money to a chippy and to a plumber and to a sparky because they've got that qualification and they've got the tools to do the job. So it should sort of be seen, even just more appreciation that our dogs are our tools and that's what's helping us get the job done quicker and more efficiently, because if we didn't have them, the job would still take twice as long as if they were doing it themselves. So sort of more recognition for the dogs, I think, and then recognition that we're the ones that have trained the dogs to get there to make our life easier. So it's,
I don't know, it takes a long time to get a dog where you want it. And that's the thing, like you can lose them in 2 seconds and they're gone.
Yeah.
So like your 3-4 years of training to where you get them fully trained is just gone and you're starting back at square one again.
Yeah.
So like the appreciation of actually having good dogs is really, really important. And I do think that certain companies do idolise that to a degree. I do think that
it comes down to the culture in the company.
Yeah.
It does.
If they push the dog culture, people are going to have better dogs.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and you have got those companies out there that are really pushing it and just promoting people to have better dogs. And yeah, I do think it will change in time, but it's just a bit of a time thing, unfortunately.
Yeah, all takes time.
Yeah.
And you mentioned there about better dogs, like being around a little bit longer than these ladies here. How have you seen dogs change? And then even like the attendees of your school, like have you seen a shift in the quality of dog coming through?
I don't think it's the quality of dogs, it's the handling.
Yeah.
It's a training.
I think we're definitely getting better. I think like all round, I think people are getting better. There's more dog schools going out. People are getting a better handle on their dogs. It's not, I don't think it's down to the dogs. I think it's down to the handlers.
And what do you think is driving that?
I think just general good people, isn't it, really? Like I think there's a lot of groups going and people trying to get these schools up and running and just trying to promote it a lot better. Like Barrett Parker here over, he's Cooter, isn't he? Yeah, Cooter.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to get some few dog schools and whatnot going just for companies and stuff, just try and get the young fellas up and rolling, or females, I should say, as well. But yeah, like little things like that make a big difference, but they're promoting dogs and trying to get handlers better. It's not getting better dogs, it's getting better handlers, because at the end of the day, that's what makes better stockmen at the end of the day.
And a better handler can make a better dog. So
and at the end of the day, like you can go buy $30,000 dog and be the U-Butte dog of another handler, and someone can grab it and be the worst dog ever. So at the end of the day, it's all to do with the handlers.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Any advice you guys would give to someone that wanted to jump, particularly a young woman that was thinking about getting into the industry?
go for it.
Yeah. Jump in head first.
What do you got to lose? Just go and talk to people. Like, don't be afraid to talk. Like, just go out there. Like, at the end of the day, if I didn't talk to these ladies, we wouldn't get to know each other and we wouldn't have good weekends where we're just having fun with dogs and bits and pieces. Like, it's just, you've got to go and just talk to people and don't be shy. Like, there's nothing to lose. At the end of the day, you'll go to a trial and everyone's happy to talk to you.
Yeah, and positive attitude. Yeah, always have to have a positive attitude.
And be open-minded.
Yeah.
But on the back of what Emelia said, so many people just rely on a job advert being on Facebook or on Drover's Ag or what are I don't even know what the other sites are. But don't be afraid to just walk into your local feed store and be like, hey, this is my resume. I know that farmers are tight looking for labour. Do you mind passing this around and seeing if anyone's looking for some labour? And that's how I got my first job on the land. I just went into a feed store and chucked my resume in and said, if you know of any farmers that are looking for someone, get them to give me a call. Don't just rely on putting a resume in on a link on a website. Like, just go.
Word of mouth is really big.
Yeah. So go in and talk to people and make it, you try and have a crack, but make it look like you're having a crack too.
Yeah.
Sitting back waiting.
even for those people that don't have a degree or been at ag or college or anything like that, that is one way to get in, because you see a lot of people get knocked back because they haven't got a certificate or diploma or uni degree, whatever, but they've got a really good go-to attitude of work. That itself, what Brooke said, can go a long way, because a lot of time people just, those sort of companies, they just scroll through and they say, oh, yep, you haven't got a certificate, we don't want you. That to me is nothing. It's your attitude at work, which is a big one.
And if you go in and talk to those people that are probably doing that and scrolling past because you got no certificate, they might actually end up going, oh, this person's actually all right. They've got the right attitude. They're green, but we can mold them how we want. And that's probably one of the biggest things that I've seen recently, is that there's more people taking on than green people because they can mold them the way that they want. It's quite hard taking on someone that's got all the experience and then trying to get them to adapt to how your company works. So sometimes they're going for the more green people to be able to mold and set them up the way they sort of want to see their company head, the way they want to see their company head.
But any of you in a position where if someone thought they want to give it a crack but didn't want to, that you could offer some kind of work experience, or it's not really something you guys have could do in your current setups?
We could definitely offer work experience. It gets a bit hard come scanning time because the scanning crates are no-go for anyone else but us, just quality control and all the gear's worth a lot. But as for, pushing up to the scanning crate, or when we go out and do mustering jobs or processing jobs, definitely we can, do work experience for people.
How about yourself, Em?
That pretty much comes down to the bosses, but look, at the end of the day, I'm always happy to have a chat to them and whatnot. We do get quite a few young people through, and I take them underneath my wing and show them around and show them a few ropes. So, most definitely.
Are there any topics or anything that I haven't brought up tonight that you guys would like to touch on at all? Yourself?
I don't think so. No. I don't think so.
All over it. Have you got an awesome question?
No, I don't. I haven't thought about it.
You haven't thought about it?
No, not this time.
Oh, not prepared, but that's...
we'll go with the crayon one. If you're a crayon, what color would you be and why?
Green.
Oh.
I like green.
Yellow, so you don't see me on paper as well.
That's an interesting answer.
Just slide underneath the radar.
Everyone uses a yellow highlighter.
Oh, no,
Everyone sees that.
Oh, God dang. Well, just something that's close to white then. White. Go white.
I don't know. I like maroon. It's a good colour.
That's cool. I just had a question come through, and it's
at the death.
right at the end. Who are your mentors, or are they currently mentoring anyone other, like any other young people coming through the industry?
Being out at Numby Station, my mentor's been Dave Crawford, and he's been a huge one. Like, he's an exceptional handler, and the places he can get his dogs, like, it just strives me to get better. So I've definitely, for that side of thing, had a pretty good mentor to start off that career.
Dave for me too. It's wicked seeing where he can get his dogs and what they can do. And that was the first, probably the most paddock ability I've seen in a dog, like, since starting the contracting. So that was cool, and I've always picked his brain. And when we do have chances to have little training arvos, it's really cool to see what he's coming through and how he can help us with the paddock ability stuff. Other than that, to sound cheesy, but Sam started me off, so he's probably been my biggest mentor. I knew nothing, so he's helped me a fair chunk of it. And then when we started trialing, we met Dean Incher, and always loved his dogs and picked his brain pretty hard. So he's probably been another big mentor of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Emelia, of course.
When I first started off, I really didn't have anyone specific. I just really enjoyed just watching everyone and taking something off everyone. I didn't have a specific mentor, but and it still stands to this sort of day and age, really. I just enjoy watching everyone. I always take something from everyone, and always keep striving to improve, I suppose. So, that's just, I suppose that's how I work, I suppose. But But yeah, definitely idolise these guys. They're coming up, so.
That said, and like you said, you idolise these guys and you really enjoyed those schools. Is there anything that you would like to contribute to moving forward, like with the schools, or diverse or change them up a little bit in any way? Or are you happy with how they're going at the moment? Or
Oh, look, I really enjoy the schools. Probably my only downfall is I'm very bad at organising them. Very bad. Simply because, it just time gets away and I go, oh yeah, I'll do that, and it never happens. So I'm generally very good if someone organises it for me, and I always throw myself in there and more than happy to do it. And I do. I really enjoy teaching people or showing them a different way and just seeing how everyone else works their dogs. That's probably something that I know I probably need to work on. I know that, but it's busy with a little one and bits and pieces. So it's sort of, you've got to hit me up and say, let's do one, and half organise one for me, and I'm right. So.
That said, when the next half organised one for you does come along, how would people find out about that?
How would they? Oh, geez, you two are awesome at advertising. So, but look, I don't know. Just
Probably the New South Wales Dog page.
Yeah, just probably mainly through that. If I was going to do another lay school, if the Yard Dog Association did ask me to do another one, it would be mainly advertised through that. I don't know. Just depends on what comes up, I suppose.
Well, I hope that is the case, because I have had some awesome feedback of participants coming through there that took a lot away from it, and they felt comfortable being around yourself and the people you had. So I hope there are more of them to come.
I hope so too.
Sure.
Yeah. We might get a start at the next one.
You might be able to help her out a bit. You can hold the Polly Pops, open the gates for her.
Yeah.
That said, you guys didn't answer what colour crayons you are
Yes,
yet.
they did.
Oh,
Yellow, maroon, and green.
man, I must be on another planet.
Yeah.
Trying to think.
You're getting old.
Hey. See, that shows how old I am. I was all Full House style. You guys probably don't even remember Full House. Emelia might.
I definitely don't.
Ladies, thank you very much for jumping on tonight. Really appreciate the yarn we've had. Really appreciate you guys being really open, honest, and candid with us as well. And hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. So thank you very much. To everybody listening back or that tuned in tonight, I hope you enjoyed it. And please remember, we learn every day, and the day we stop learning from each other will be a sad day. Thank you.
Thank you.